Um, Sorry for the fan. I can't turn it off. If I have the light in the bathroom on, I have to have the fan on, so it just is what it is. Anyway, hopefully you can hear me. This is day one of Machismo, Movember, something that I do every single year. So maybe, I don't know, did I put a link? Maybe I'll put a link in the description of this. But so I'm growing out my mustache in awareness for men's mental health, suicide prevention, prostate cancer, testicular cancer, things like that. So it's something that, like I said, I try to do every year. But the purpose of this video is, you may not know that I've wanted to brew alcohol for a very long time. I didn't really ever want to do beer. I fell in love with Mead when I was up in Seattle, and so I decided that I would take a venture in that. Years ago I bought stuff for it, but I never had space or time to actually do it. So I finally gotten to the point now where I do. Now that I have my own apartment, my own space, and I make my own schedule, I just can do whatever I want. So I'm attempting to brew some mead, and I got some hard cider over here that I'm pretty sure is finished. I've been having it going for 2 weeks, and my bubbles are coming through at a very slow rate. It's taking about a minute or more for the bubbles to come up. So I'm thinking it's right about at that point, just kind of trickling through. So I just finished cleaning up my stuff. I'm in my bathroom, so if I make a mess, I can easily clean it. But let me show you what I've got going. So I don't know how much of this is going to fill up these bottles, but it doesn't really matter, because all I'm trying to do, I want to get 3 full and then have the 4th one just for me to like try out and see how our first run goes. So I already tested this, and this tube is so long that I can't get the siphon to work, so we're going to chop that in half. Alright, I'm going to hang that up right here. Keep my fiddle in there. Alright. Okay, now I've never used a siphon like this before either, so it'll be very interesting to see how it works out. So I bought these bottles specifically for the hard cider. I wasn't too worried about the mead, but for the hard cider I wanted to have these seal top lids that I could hopefully pressurize the bottle with a little carbonation. That's why I'm not letting the hard cider completely stop bubbling, because I still want there to be a little bit of reaction to release some carbon dioxide. Pressurize this up and give it a little bubble. That's the hope, at least. I don't know. This is a freaking nutty professor, wild, cuckoo brain, cardelle68 shit going on. Here's the question. How do I get my bung out? Oh, that smells good. It smells good. How do I get my bung out? I did not foresee this issue. Bung, 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 bung. Could I how to get the bung out. Okay, let's see. I'm wondering if I can get that down far enough and then pull it out like that. Okay, that seems promising. Let's try it with the big one. Kind of working. Do I have something else? Okay, let's see if any of these fit the bung. That seems. Well, I think that's too big. Too big for my bung. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try putting a screw down with some little O-rings. See if pushing it down kind of blocks it with this, and then pulling it up gives it more tension. We'll see. Okay, that almost worked. think a bigger one would work because I think it'll just go over the other ones. But maybe. Okay. That was close. Maybe a washer? Maybe a washer. Come on. Ooh, that was good. Finally got the bung out. Okay. Get rid of all of this crap. Alright, we gotta fill this up. With water. So I need to attach this to the end here. Okay. And then I'm gonna use the shower to fill her up with water. There it is. I need a bucket or a gallon jug. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Okay. How are you gonna do this, Justin? You can control this. Dang, I am gonna have to do it inside of the shower. So many bubbles in the line. Interesting. There it is. My prison hard cider. I'm so excited. It's not bad. It looks like it's got a pretty good alcohol content. So you want to see how well it grips to the side. It's probably hard for you guys to see, but when I swirl it around like this, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the alcohol up to clear glass where there's no liquid, so that then I can see it tumble down, and how well it grips to the side of the bottle will tell me about what my alcohol content is. So if you've ever noticed like a drink when you pour it and it hits the side of a glass and you can kind of see it waterfall down, like even after you stop pouring it looks like it's moving, because it's a little bit more viscous than what the regular fluid is. So when I give it a shake, you can see it's moving down really slowly, and I want to see when it breaks. There, now it started to break. Swirl it again. See, we've got it moving nice and down, moving down. We're waiting for it to break. There, it broke right there. So it's counted down in like seconds if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, break. So it's about 6-7%. Rough estimate. Who knows? That was my first one, and I did get some impurities in there. Barely any in this one. Barely any in this one. Those two are pretty good. Let me show you my mead. So look my seat. Okay. There. Okay. So with my mead, you can see my bubbler right here still going pretty consistent. It's only taken a few seconds for it to move through. So this one's definitely needing to still sit for a while. I've got the honey type that I used in it. This honey was actually really old, so old that it had crystallized. And there was a thick layer when I poured it in, a thick crystallized layer of sugar and honey on the bottom. I had to mix this thing so much. Let me see if I can show you guys. Let me see if I can show you the bubbles inside of the mead, because it's pretty freaking sweet. Where's my phone at, Justin? Inside of the pants. Inside of my pants. Where? There we go. Oh, the stream's getting pissed. Okay, here we go. Let's see. All right. Okay, whatever. Phone. Stop being dumb. Can you see the bubbles? I don't know if you can see them moving around. Let me move you closer. Let's see if you can see them. Can you see them moving? I can't tell. I'm like way in an awkward position. But you can see the bubbles building up. Coming all the way up to the top and then bubbling up. Ooh, I'm so excited for the mead. I'm really hoping that I have enough honey in it, because this is my first time, and like I said, the honey has actually been sitting in a storage unit for 5 years. So I'm very interested to see. Like I said, it was mostly crystalline when I put it in. I had to heat it up in the microwave just to get it out of the bottles. But it's been sitting there for almost 2 weeks. I did a double batch of yeast on it. I did a double batch of nutrients for it, because you have to give it like nitrogen and stuff. You can do it without, but the bacteria or the yeast just doesn't react very well to it. It needs more than just sugar. So I'm really hoping that with the extra nutrients, with the extra nitrogen and stuff that I put in, that we're going to get a really good alcohol content on this one. I might run it through a second round, but since it's my first time, and normally you want mead to settle for a bit after you bottle it, you want to have it sit, and most of the time they recommend like 6 to 9 months minimum for it. So I'll probably do a shorter run. It looks like I get about 4 bottles out of it when I do it at the right amount. So I'll probably just try each of them as I go, in like a month-to-month type of thing. So the first bottle, I'll work through it over a couple of weeks and see how it does, see how it sets over a couple of days, things like that. See if the notes change, the flavors, the profile. And then I'll open up the second bottle in the second month, and I'll give it a chance there and see how it does. See if a month made any difference, and if it didn't, then with the third bottle, I'll wait maybe 2 or 3 months, which would be a total of 4. If I waited 3 months, it would be a total of 4 months that I would have waited on that one, which would put me close to the limit. And then I would again test it, see how it's doing, and then I would go from there. But what I'm going to do now, I need to get more bottles, because I need to get more bungs too. I need to get more bungs and bottles, because I have more bubblers that
I want to have more bottles going. So let's see how much I can brew. But anyways, that was all I was going to share tonight. I just got off of work not too long ago, and I'd been talking up my hard cider to a coworker, so I was really excited to come back and see how it was doing. So we've got our first round. Let's see how it goes. All right, hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. I'll talk to you later. Peace.